All right, let's talk about Marathon, guys. Let's cover Marathon versus Destiny, the civil war that is going down right now all over the internet, ladies and gentlemen. It is interesting. So, guys, a couple of things, all right? There's a couple of things to go over all this stuff. So, right now, there's a bit of a civil war happening between Marathon and Destiny 2. And it's actually kind of funny because I actually said many times over, and I think a lot of you guys said as well, that when it came to Marathon, the initial players that were going to play Marathon were most likely going to be Destiny 2 players that were looking to play the next latest Bungie thing. Because those are like the Bungie hardcore fanboys, right? They want to play the latest Bungie thing. And a lot of them probably didn't even realize what an extraction shooter even was. And they were probably secretly hoping that it was going to be like the Destiny 3 they never got. That's what a lot of people seem to be hoping for. They never got it, obviously, but yeah. So now we're at the point where Marathon and Destiny players are fighting each other because they are blaming each other for the reason why their games are not successful, or for the reason why their games are not getting the content that they should be getting. Now, the ironic thing is that Marathon is getting all the content right now. Marathon's getting everything. As we're going to go over, by the way, because we have an entire list. I mean, look at this list, guys. Look at this fucking list posted by Marathon themselves. Launch, learnings, and what's next. The short version. There is no short version. This thing is long as fuck. Look at this. Look at this. Brother. Holy shit, that's a lot, right? So we got a lot to go over. But so what happened was Marathon posted this. And keep in mind, this little civil war has been happening for a few days even before this. But Marathon posted this, and it made it blow up. It made it explode. Because now Destiny players are essentially saying that we wish that we could have this level of communication, right? Why can't we have this level of communication for this particular game? Why is it that Marathon's getting all this communication? Why are they getting all this list of like all the things planned? They're already talking about season 5 in Marathon. We haven't even gotten to the reset. That's what I'm most excited about. I'm excited for the reset because what's going to happen is, and by the way, they confirm in this post that the reset is coming. The reset is coming. They're not backing out from it. It's coming. Right? So I'm excited for that because a lot of the people that are playing Marathon, they don't understand what it actually is going to entail once the game resets. They don't understand how that works. So all this work that they're putting into it, all this grinding that they're putting into it, they don't realize that they're about to lose everything. Almost everything, pretty much. So once that happens, I think that's going to be a big wake-up call for a lot of these people. But we'll see anyway. So let's read this. I found this post to be pretty interesting. It could be a little bit of a troll, obviously. But there's a lot of internal turmoil over at Marathon. Didn't they reset already? No, they did not. They did not. They did not reset yet. It's coming, though. The reset is coming. So Destiny 2 died so that Marathon Concord 3 could also die. This was Bungie's master plan all along. They wanted 2 live service games, but got 2 dead service games instead. Imagine thinking you could manage 2 live service games when you couldn't even manage 1. Concord died so that every other live service could trip over its corpse. Bungie running a marathon to an early grave was always their destiny. Oh, damn! That is a hell of a sentence. I need to steal that. I am stealing that. Bungie running a marathon to an early grave was always their destiny. Damn.
Holy shit.
That's a fucking sentence, bro. I'm stealing that. I'm sorry. I'm stealing that. Never forget that we went from driving warthogs with a squad to this. Sony bought the name Bungie, not the talent that made Halo. They told us their games weren't for us. and then get mad when we don't buy them. The Concordian timeline will conclude its third installment. Why does this guy look like Elf Asmongold, bro? I swear. Dan, sucks for Sony. If only people had warned them from the beginning. Oh, wait. Sony's business strategy overspent on acquiring studios, reliefs live service to make back losses. The game bombs, increased price of all hardware, and shut down studios to compensate. Sales get worse, repeat. Yeah, that's true. That's true. In all actuality, I believe that this increase in prices that we're seeing between the video games and the hardware and the accessories and all this stuff every year, that's what you call the marathon tax. Like, obviously, it's not just marathon, but the idea is that Sony is essentially taxing you for their failures. So they're trying to make the money back from their endeavors that they fucking flopped on. And unfortunately, people are paying the price. They're paying the price of entry not to realize that there's nothing in the club to actually do. Why are you paying the extra price to get into the club that's fucking empty? But you don't realize it's empty until you already pay the bouncer. And then when you try to get your money back, well, good luck with that. You know? So in any case, Sony, am I out of touch? No, it's the gamers who are wrong. True. True. So if you look over the forums, there is one thing that has been essentially admitted to. And that is the fact that there is now going to be a PvE mode. Supposedly. There is going to be a PvE mode in Marathon, ladies and gentlemen. A PvE mode. Now, once you start going down that route in a game that is supposed to be essentially, you know, all skill-based, super sweaty, all that stuff, once you start going down that route, that tells me that the people that you try to essentially virtue signal to, the ultra-hardcore FPS players, they left you. They left you to essentially hang and dry. They left you to hang and dry, right? So we're going to go over the changes that Marathon's making, but I want to check this out really quick. We were right, the official thread. As the end nears with every hour, as the SteamDB chart goes deeper and deeper into the abyss, it's time to gather all people that tried to warn Bungie. Other gamers in the whole community that something was off with this game. These people earned the right to say, we were right. You were wrong. I told you so. Enjoy the feeling, brothers in gaming. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I was wrong when this game came out. I defended it. Thanks for correcting me. You were right. I now stand here made whole by admitting I was wrong. I am a better person for rejecting Marathon. Rejoice. Now, listen. The war between Marathon and the war between Marathon and Destiny has now led to them, allegedly, and you can take this with a grain of salt, but people are saying that some of the most diehard fans of both video games are now using idle bots in order to boost the concurrent numbers of the game, to make it seem as if one is doing better than the other. That's how petty we're going right now. There are a bunch of posts on Reddit and essentially everywhere of people saying to use idle bots to boost the numbers, which kind of makes sense because, again, the numbers going up and it's getting late. That almost never happens, right? Now it's at 13,000 for Marathon concurrently right now, higher than it ever has been. It's 1,000 over. On a Thursday, it's 1,000 over. Destiny is currently at right under 10,000. So 9,892, right? So pretty fucking hilarious. And I got to be honest with you, we kind of saw this coming a mile away. We all knew this was going to happen. So let's look at this now. Here's the TLDR of what Marathon is promising to essentially fix their game. And you can read this whole thing if you want. It's available on the official Marathon page. It's a lot. Like they're going into what they planned for season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5. Like they actually got all this shit supposedly planned. But you know who also had multiple seasons planned? Concord. You also know who had multiple seasons planned? Highguard. You know who also has multiple seasons planned? Horizon Hunter Gatherers. Okay? This is what you call the last ditch effort. The voice of a dying video game. With the first season of Marathon, we created a strong core community. You know what a core community means? Most people left. Whenever they start talking about, oh yeah, we have a core community, that means that the suckers that are still around are the people that genuinely enjoy the game. But ultimately, it is a destruction. Anytime they say core community, it means that most people have left. And I know you're going to have gaslighters that are going to be like, no, it just means core. It just means core. Yeah, we know what core means. We're embarking on a multi-season journey built around growing from the seed of this strong community. That's right, boys. Drop your seed. Drop it on Marathon. We're looking to solve some pain points for players, making the game less grindy and more rewarding. It's amazing that they're going to make it more rewarding, only for it to ultimately all go away anyway when the game resets. Making improvements to things like the UI, matchmaking, endgame meta, playing as solos and duos, etc. Smoothing out onboarding, and we're also going to build out more of the core game. Adding new fun and mind-bending content. New and updated zones, runner shells, new combatants, weapons, loot, and more. Building systems to make progressing more interesting. We want to build more survival experiences for different moods, like if you want a full sweat or lean back and chill. We're going to be exploring more pure PvP, PvE, or PvP light experiences. So they're gonna go full PvE with some of their game modes, which are gonna take a lot of people out of the PvP queue. Do they not realize that? Like, by allowing somebody to have full PvE and never embracing PvP, that means that the few players that are already playing, you are going to separate your player base. You are now going to make it so that a lot of people are going to choose to do PvE only, and your PvP queues are going to become less and less. Yeah, it's high guard all over again, bro. Continue experimenting with experimental queues to learn more around these experiences. We're bringing back duos for Season 2 with a rotating duos queue. We're testing some experiments in Season 2 around PvE and PvP light modes. We're expanding the max size of your vault and increasing faction progression rates. We'll talk more about Season 2 content like Night March, the new Cradle progression system, and Runner Shell Sentinel the week of May 25. 3 months later, okay, let's talk. I wanna go into what they talk about. They talk about what happened before, how they're honoring the original Marathon. No, they're not. They're not honoring the original Marathon. Let's see. Let me scroll down. Where is what went well? They talk about what went well, and then when they get to the what went bad, they're like, what we learned. Marathon is overwhelming to learn. It's overwhelming to learn, guys. It's very hard. It's easy to hit a wall if you're not spending lots of time, don't have a consistent crew, or are not super skilled. Still figuring out the balance mix of the actual end game. Sometimes you don't want to sweat, right? So here's what they have. As we've been learning these lessons, we've also been experimenting and observing some additional areas where we can improve. The sponsored March perimeter, sponsored kits, matchmaking systems, how many queues we're running. But I want to get to, here's where they want to go. To the end, we have 2 main paths walking down, starting with Season 2. They want to focus on more mind-bending sci-fi. Okay. And hold on. Okay, check this out. In Season 2, we'll be adding duos rotating zone queue. Season 2 will be adding a new matchmaking system that helps players find better quality matches with more flex for higher end players. In Season 2, we'll be expanding the max size of your vault. For Season 2 and beyond, we're working on a set of UX improvements to help make setting goals and getting into a match smoother. For Season 3 and beyond, we're working on improving our onboarding experience. For Season 3 and beyond, we're making changes to the contract system to improve how you interact. Guys, I don't understand. Like, look at this. Season 4, we're focused on building more depth into the existing extraction loop. Season 5, we're looking at bringing the whole ecosystem of PvPvE play together and evolving our weird sci-fi world in new ways. Guys, why are we at Season 5? Why don't we just focus on this season, the current season? Because you guys are going so far ahead, and I know why you're doing it. You're trying to quell the shitstorm that you're currently experiencing right now from the players that are panicking, thinking that your game is gonna die, right? So you're like, hey, no, we got all these plans. Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got all these plans, guys. Our game's going nowhere. I understand why they're doing that. But at this point, you have to just be honest with your players and just be like, listen, we unfortunately missed it. We missed the ball on Marathon. We're going to go back to the basics, and we're going to focus on making the next season as amazing as possible. And if we continue to see a rise in players for that season, then we have a lot of things planned that we could potentially do for the next one after that. But right now, we want to give you guys the best experience for the upcoming season that is going to be available to you very soon. That's it. That's all you got to say. Don't be like, hey, season 2 is coming, and 3, and 4, and 5. Nobody cares. All people care about is what you're going to do now. You know? Sorry, is that you, High Guard? Yeah, it's very similar. See, this is the thing. Most live service video games that die like this, slowly, they go through the same levels of grief, right? They go through the same acceptance, where it's always deny, 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 until you can't deny anymore, and then accept. That's basically it.
The real Season 2 is solidifying Concord 3.
True. Essentially, the Concordian timeline will be fulfilled. So, in any case, I find all this to be very interesting. I think that the internal battle between Marathon players and Destiny players is probably only going to get worse. I don't see how it's going to get better. Because both of these sides, honestly, they have made it very clear that they blame the other for the reason why their current game is not doing good. And Destiny players have been pissed for a long time. They've been pissed for a long time. Like Marathon players, they might have been pissed recently. But Destiny players have been festering on this shit for fucking years, bro. They've been mad for a long time. So once they get the ability to vent and blame something for the reason why their game is dying, they're not going to hold back. And right now, Bungie is that target, and Marathon is that target also.